Welcome survivors to your brand new day one starter base, a cozy survival house designed so you can build it right on your very first day on ARK Survival Ascended. Whether you're completely new to ARK or a long-time veteran, this base has something for everyone. Step inside and you'll find a cozy seating area in front of an open fire, perfect for warming up after your first night. A small dining area to feast on your early day catches. An upstairs bedroom to get a good night's rest after all that gathering. And outside a smelting, crafting and garden area to keep you fully stocked and self-sufficient. If you find this video helpful or inspiring, don't forget to smash that like button, comment down below what you want to see me build next, and why not subscribe? It's completely free and helps me out a ton. Now without further ado, let's dive into today's video. Hello ladies and jelly spoons, and welcome to another building video with me, Lols at Lance. Now I don't mean to alarm anyone, but behind me stands a monstrosity. Something feared, something dreaded, the Bob's Box. That's right, this ugly little cube is the go-to base for 90% of survivors on their first day. And you know what I think of it? Get it out of my face! Ugh, sorry, I just puked in my mouth a little bit. Let's get rid of that. There we go. Okay. So let me show you how to build a better day one base. Something small, simple and stylish that you can easily erect within your first day of playing ARK. This will be available as a template for my tier 3 YouTube members, and don't forget there's a load of free blueprints on my Discord as well. So today we're on the stunning Valguero map, located at latitude 71.6, longitude 80. This area reminds me of the beautiful Astraeus map, surrounded by white cliffs, Mediterranean-style trees, and crystal-clear lakes. Now, this might not be the easiest location for a first base, but it's definitely one of the most beautiful, so I couldn't resist building this little cabin right here today. So we're going to start off with one singular foundation, then we're going to grab our wood quarter foundations. Now, all you need to do is find your triangle foundation, swap over to quarter foundation. The same goes for thatch as well. And we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 across, and then 4 again back here. And then from there, we're going to add another 1, 2 foundations. And then simply, all we're going to do from here is go another 1, 2 behind. So there should be 3 in total this way. And then we're going to go all the way back down until we meet back to where we started, like this. And then just fill in the middle. So that's 5 foundations in total going horizontally, and then 3 going vertically. Okay, so for the walls, everyone, we're going to be using quarter walls. So these wooden quarter walls, I'm going to go up by 1, 2, 3 from the side. And then from the top of this, you're going to go across by a further 7 to the side. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Don't need that one. So that's 8 in total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. And then on the right here, we're going to add 1, 2, 3, 4 quarter walls in total. And then back to the left, we're going to count 1, 2, and then place 2 in going down here. And then on the left here, we're going to add in 1, 2 going across. On the right, we're going to do 1, 2 going across, plus another 1 and connect it up. Next, we're going to be adding in our doorway. Now, our doorway, it looks like this is the perfect space for it, and it is. However, we're going to place it backwards by a quarter. This is why we added in the quarters. So we get this extra snap point here. Let me just place it in. So it should be a quarter wall backwards, like that. And then we can simply go in with our quarter walls either side and fill in these gaps. Now, for this little section here, we're going to add in a sloped wall. So we're going to use our sloped wall, but then we're going to switch it over to the shallow sloped wall and use that. And then above here is going to be thatch. We're going to use thatch now for a bit of variation in materials. We don't just want to use wood today. We're going to use some thatch as well. So I use the strongest material at the bottom, and then we're going to use thatch at the top. So I'm going to do a sloped thatch wall right here, but a shallow one. So a shallow slope wall there. We're going to add in 1, 2, 3, 4 thatch quarter walls, followed by a shallow wall, shallow slope wall. And then we're going to do a big sloped wall on top of this. Just like that. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. We're going to do the back side now. So we're going to leave that side just for a second. We're going to come back to it in a minute. We're going to do the back side now. So for the back side, what I'm going to do is use a wooden doorway here. Now for these next bits, it's completely up to you what you use. You could either use wood or thatch here because we're going to skin this in a minute as well. So I'm going to use wood here for now, just normal wood, just like this. So it should look like this. Then we're going to grab our quarter walls and go across almost the entire thing. We're going to go all the way up till we get to the door frame here. Then we're going to grab our shallow sloped wooden wall. And then basically all we're going to do is mimic what we did over there with our thatch. We're going to do over here as well. So I'm going to grab my thatch sloped wall. Do our quarters, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then our thatch sloped wall again. And then our big sloped walls above. Now, for these windows, if you have the Bob Tall Tales DLC, then you'll have access to this skin as part of the main game. So this Frontier skin in here, and then you've got this right here, Frontier Structure skin. So if you have this, then you'll be able to skin a wall to glass. So we've got Frontier glass structures. We're going to use that just like this. There you go. You just drag it to your hotbar like I've done. And then switch it over once you've got it selected. Switch it over. There's a few different ones. You switch it over to the Frontier glass. And that's how you get your windows. Now, if you don't have access to this DLC, then simply download a custom cosmetic. There's so many that give you glass. There's a free one called Clear Glass Wall. I recommend using that and then just skinning over the walls. So on each of the sides here, I'm going to be adding in walls. And just so I can show you, you can use thatch if you need to, especially if you're skinning it to the glass like I am. So this is going to get skinned to glass on this side. Now on the other side, we're actually going to start off with our quarter walls here. So I'm going to do quarter walls going all the way along. And then above this, I'm going to add our normal walls. So a wall above there. And a wall above there. And I'm going to skin it to the glass. Okay, that's basically all the walls done. I do want to add a little extension here. So right here where we've got this gap where I didn't put a wall in, we're going to add a little bit of an extension. Now I want to grab my quarter foundations. I'm going to do 1, 2 next to this. I'm actually going to pick these up because I shouldn't have placed these down. We're going to pick those up. And it should look something like this now. And then let's leave that for a minute because this is going to be a chimney. I'm going to put a chimney here, but I'm not sure how tall I want it. We can kind of judge that in a bit once we've done the roof. So for the roof, again, please feel free to use thatch for this or use wood. They're both going to look good. I've tested this and they both look good. I'm going to use wood. So up here, let's just add in our first roof piece going all the way across. And then on the other side as well. And then on these sections here and here and here, we're just going to add in our wooden ramp. Now I'm going to flip over my wooden ramp to this side because that side matches the color a little bit better than the front side, as you can see. This side matches a little bit nicely. A little bit nicely, that doesn't make sense. A little bit nicer might make more sense. Okay, flip that over. And then let's just place this all in. 1, 2, 3, done. Let's add that in as well on this side. Lovely. And there we go. Now, obviously, this is looking pretty ugly so far. And guys, when you're building anything, just remember, like, all builds start off looking ugly, and then you just keep working on them until they're pretty. So how can we improve this? I'll tell you how. Let's do a bit of an overhang on the roof. Now, for our overhang, we're going to be using quarter roof pieces. So we've got this quarter roof right here. Let's add it in on the quarter roof sections coming out. And then again, for our ramp, we're just going to add those in as well. Quarter ramp pieces coming down. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's do the other side as well. And that alone has already made the build so much better. Don't you agree? It's made it so much better. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab our quarter ceilings now. So these are wood quarter ceilings. And we're going to extend the roof out even further on this side. So we've got this side and this side to do. So I think this is going to look pretty cool. Let's take it all the way down here. And the idea is that it's like a bit of a flick. A nice transition. We got a nice transition as we come down here. What is that? That is a moth. Okay. We're going to do this side as well. Lovely. Okay, this is looking pretty good so far. We've got the main basics of the build in, so you can move in if you want to right now. But we do need to do this chimney on this side. So let's work out how tall this is going to go. So we're going to go up by 1, 2, 3. Is that going to be tall enough? Okay, we'll start with 3, and if we feel like it needs to go further, we'll go further. And then we do our quarter walls coming up as well. Okay, so that's all filled in. We also need to do the top. So we need to do 2 quarter walls at the top. And there is our chimney. Okay, that is the shell definitely complete now with the chimney. So we've done the shell, but we need to do all the details. So we've got these big holes here for the windows. As you can see either side, we've got these big holes. So we need to work out what we're doing with those. And I think what I want to do is use thatch railings to fill this in. So we're going to do a thatch railing here and a thatch railing here. And if it allows you to, do try and place in an extra thatch railing above on this side and on this side. The next thing and the most important thing with any build is pillars. You need to have some pillar work on your build. It just makes it so much better. So we're going to do our pillars on each of the corners here. I'm going to have a pillar coming all the way along the edge of the thatch. I'm going to have them come down either side of the windows as well. And either side of the doorway. Now, we could leave it there, but I want to do more. So I'm going to do another pillar coming across the edge of... Oh, okay, so I need to use a half pillar here to do those ones. For some reason, a full pillar won't snap there, so you got to do half pillars. Okay, let's leave it like that for now, and I'll show you another detail I'd like to do to the front here. I'm going to add in some quarter foundations at the front, in front of the windows. 1, 2, and oh, can I get this one as well? 1, 2, and I'd like to add a slightly longer entranceway here, so I'm going to add in a foundation in front of the doorway. Lovely. So the idea here is that these are going to be like little areas to place some plants on those bits and on those bits. Now, the way you get plants in the game, there's a few ways. Either you could use a small crop pot. So I could use a crop pot, which I don't have on me. Crop pot. So you could use a small one of these. Where is it? Medium, medium, small. Lovely. So you've got a small one here, so you could use those and plant in some berries, is one method. The other method is if you've got the Bob Tool Tales DLC that we talked about earlier, you can grab yourself a plant pot and a shovel. So there's a pot and a shovel. You keep the pot in your inventory. So there's the pot in my inventory. I'm going to grab the shovel. And then I'm simply going to dig up a bush or a plant. So this lovely bush back here, let's grab that. And that has been added to my plant pot. And then I simply place it in like this. Amazing. Look at that. Plant added in. And you can even decrease the size, increase the size. You can do what you want with it. Look, I can make it smaller. I can make it bigger. But my preferred method, if you do have mods allowed on your server or installed in your single player, then you could use this mod called the JVH Landscaping mod. I'm going to place it in the table. And you can simply craft up plants. Look at this. I'm going to craft up myself a bush, place it in my inventory, and then I can simply place in the bush in the world. Like so. So that's my preferred method, but obviously if you don't have mods, you can just do it this way or the other way, and that's perfectly fine as well. Okay, and once you're placed in those bushes, I personally like to rail these off now. So I'm going to use some railings. I'm going to use wooden railings for this. I'm going to rail it off, half railing there, half railing there, and the same on this one. Make it look all enclosed and pretty. There we go. Okay, we definitely need some stairs going up to this so we can get up this smoothly. And then I'm even going to go crazy and do some pillars. So I'm going to use some skinny pillars now, skinny thatch pillars in certain areas coming down. So coming down from there all the way to the floor. Coming down from here as well. Oopsie daisy, I added it in somewhere in the building. That is stuck there forever. And then probably on the corners as well. So one there and one here as well. What I'd like to do now is basically put in some railings coming across the lining of the roofs. But sadly, you can't snap the half roof pieces. So these half roof pieces, they're useless for snapping stuff to. However, what you can snap it to is this pillar that you just added in. So I'm going to snap it to the pillar and get the right snap point so it's going up the roof like that. And then you can simply just keep using that snap point and go up and down the lining of the roof. Because I am a genius, and you can even do a little one on this side and a little one on this side. In fact, I've just realized as well, if you start off with this one, you can probably snap to this as well. So, oh yeah, look at that. Isn't that looking fantastic? I love it. Okay, so basically everything we've done here, we're going to do something similar on this side. Before we do that, actually, let's add ourselves in a little bit of a back decking back here. I'm going to use thatch for this. So use thatch or wood, doesn't really matter. We'll go across there. So I'm going to go out by 2 in total and just fill in this area. So we've got a little back area that we can play with now. So what I'm going to do is add in the pillars and stuff now, and pretty much similar to what we did on the other side. So let's go ahead and do that now. Okay, well that area is basically done, the same as the other side. We just, feel free to add these pillars where you feel like they should be added. It's not really, there's no science to this. It's just where your eyes feel like they should go. That's what you should do. So I even added them going up in this middle section here, which I didn't do on the other side. But my eyes desired it, so I did it. And that's how you should build. If your eyes desire it, then build it. Okay, looking pretty good. We might just add in some railings going around this thatch as well. Either wood or thatch railings are fine. Just get them added in just like that. So what I like to do after I've detailed a build is I look at it and I think, is there anything else I can do to detail this further? I think the roof could be detailed slightly more. So the way I'm going to detail this roof is I'm going to use my wooden thatch beams or pillars coming out on top of the roof. So we're going to do them on top, and then they're going to come out. They're going to stick out a little bit like this on the front and like this on the back. And that is looking pretty snazzy. And then I'm going to go a step further here with the roof. So I'm going to use a skin here. I'm going to use the Frontier skin. Now, if you don't have this, then don't use it. It's fine. It's still going to look amazing. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight the outside. So I'm going to skin like this, going all the way along the rim, the overhang section of the roof. And what it's going to do is going to highlight kind of the exterior like this. And it's going to just, I don't know, give it a little bit of extra oomph. It's going to give a bit more variation and make the build more interesting to look at overall. Look at that. Isn't that a nice detail to do? Now, for the chimney, or wooden chimney here, there's a couple things we could do. First thing is, if you have the plant pots, use the plant pots. These can be used as like a terracotta, the little actual chimney itself. You place it on top, it's going to look like Those little terracotta pieces they sometimes have on the end of chimneys. That's what that looks like. However, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a skin called Castlecraft, which is good to use on official. You can use this on official servers. I'm going to use the Castlecraft skin, and I'm going to use the decor skin. So for the Castlecraft skin, I'm going to use it on the wooden pieces on the chimney. So all of these bits. And then I'm going to delete these that we just placed in. I'm going to use the decor skin this time on these quarter ceilings. And we'll get ourselves a proper little chimney coming out. Look at that. Doesn't that look cool? And there's some variations as well. Let's see. Variations. Variant. So you can do that way as well, which I think I might do. I think that might be a good way. Or I think there's a different one. Oopsie daisy, you can scale it. Let's do variant, large pot. So you can do one big one. You can do 3 triple pots. Default. So I'm going to do 1 large pot, I think, on either side. There we go. Another fun thing you can do with Castlecraft, actually, while we're at it, is you can skin some of these skinny pillars. So I'm going to use a long skinny pillar here. You can skin this in the dungeon skin. So I'm going to use the dungeon skin now. And it can turn it into chains, which is pretty cool. And you can dangle a little light on the end. Now, you could either do, if you don't have any mods installed, just use yourself a wall torch. But in my case, I've got this mod called Klinger's Rustic Build mod. And I'm going to use the wall sap lighting because I like the lighting. I just really like it. So I'm going to add this in here. Beautiful. And I'm going to add them in either side of the build as well. So one there and one here. That is looking fan-dabby-dozy. Isn't this so much better than having a box, guys? I think it is anyway. I think it is. So I'll probably do a similar thing on the other side with the lights. So let me place these in now. Okay, so I guess we're ready to go on to the inside of the build. So I'm going to place in a door as well, because I forgot to do that. Let's add in the door here and a door back here. And look at all the space we've got to play. We've got quite a bit of space in here. And a place for a fireplace as well, which is quite nice. And we could even do a bit of a second floor in here, which is exciting. So let's get started, shall we? So I'm going to do a bit of a second floor here, I've decided. So let's go ahead and place in a ceiling just above the doorway, going out by maybe 2, and then taking it this way, using quarter ceilings as well, like this. And I think that's as far as I want to go. I might use some skinny pillars to make it look like it's slightly supported. And then add in a wall for the fireplace. So this is the fireplace. I'm adding in a wall there. And let's skin it. And then we can add in the fireplace itself in here. So just like that. Now this fireplace is actually Castlecraft, and it's just a slightly different color to the usual fireplace. However, if you don't have access to Castlecraft for whatever reason, then just use the normal fireplace. You can just use the normal fireplace, and added bonus, if you don't want to use this Castlecraft skin for the stone, just use stone. If you've got it unlocked, just use stone. Alright, so we need a way to get up to this section, so I'm just going to simply place in a stair right here to get up. And then let's add in some thatch railings going around this. There we go. So this could be like a nice section for a bedroom is what I'm thinking. And then down here, maybe like a little seating area and a kitchen over here. Very simple stuff. I'm just going to add in some very, very simple sort of survival stuff here. I'm going to fill in these gaps with some pillars. Okay, so I guess before we add in the decoration for down here, let's add in some lighting. So I'm going to do a light up here and then maybe another one here. And we can do some down here as well. So let's add in these first. So one here, one here. And of course, I'll change these pillars to the chains in a bit. That's already lit up the area quite nicely. We could do... This feels like it needs some pillars here. Do we need pillars here? Maybe. And then we can add some lights either side of this. Very, very nice. And then maybe just one over here somewhere. I don't know where. Maybe dangling from the ceiling as a hearth. Maybe like right there. Alright, this is fully lit up now. It's very yellow in here. That's the only problem with these sap lightings is they're very, very yellow. Right, well, I guess I'll show you guys how I would personally, if I was like surviving in this base, how I might design it. I'll definitely have my bed up here. So let's place the bed in maybe here. I'm going to do 2 storage boxes at the back. I'm going to place a bed in front of this. So the storage boxes are a bit like a headboard. I've got 2 beds there. Maybe I'd have a table back here with a chair, like a little desk, which would be quite cute. Have a little desk back there. Which means I'll probably move the bed a little bit further this way. And then I'll just have like some general kind of storage here or chairs. So this chair here, this fancy armchair is part of the Bob Tall Tales DLC. We'll add in like one there. And then if you have it installed, which I don't, there's a Western Decor mod that has great rugs in it if you ever need good rugs. This, unfortunately, is the, well, it's the Castlecraft Decor, which also has fantastic rugs. But not the rugs I'd like to use right now, but let's use it anyway, so... where do I want this? Maybe in front of the beds, like so. I mean, it's still a nice rug, but I do prefer the Western Decor ones. And then maybe even a bookshelf might be nice somewhere if we can fit it in. Just hard to know where to do it. Maybe there. And there you go. That's looking pretty snazzy. And then down here, I'd probably do like a seating area over here. Just working out how I would do that. Maybe I'd have a sofa here. Would that be too much as you walk in through the door? Not really. Let's place that in properly then. So right in front of this fireplace, let's do a sofa. Then let's do ourselves a nice armchair there. Maybe a bookshelf in there as well. We can have maybe some storage to the right of this. And I'd probably put a rug here. I might need to install that mod just so I can have a nice rug. Although, you know, if you have the other rug available to you, the normal rug in the game, you can use this as well. You can use this as well. Although this rug always lets the floor show through, which is really annoying. Beautiful. Okay, so that's the lounge. We're going to do the kitchen now. So the kitchen should be over here somewhere, right? We could do a cooking pot on the floor somewhere. Maybe we'll do that somewhere in the middle. Is that weird to have that in the middle? And then we could have ourselves the kitchen counters kind of going all the way around. Have our preserving bin somewhere. I don't know where. Maybe there. Well, that's quite close to the stairs, but there you go. And then, of course, you've got your campfires for the cooking. There you go. Very, very simple. I'm not like doing a crazy design for the inside, although I'm just showing you guys how I'd set it up if I was surviving in it. And then I might use some fancier decoration a bit later, and I'll talk about it during the base tour. But out here at the front, or rather at the back, this is where I would place in my smithy and my refining forge. So I'd probably just have a nice area for smelting metal and my smithy as well. So you can craft, hey, look at the view. You can craft with a view from this location, although not the best starter base location in the world here. But still, it's a nice location in general. And with that, ladies and jelly spoons, the base is basically done. Well, I say it's basically done. I think what I'll do now is I'll go away and just neaten up any areas I think need neatening up. Like I might go inside and do a few little other things inside. I might add like maybe a few little plants out here. And And yeah, I guess I'll go through it all again during the base tour after the cinematic shots. So I'm going to go away and do that now, and I'll see you guys after the cinematic shots. Welcome back, everybody. The base is all complete and I am ready to give you the quickest base tour in history because it's so small it will probably take 5 seconds, but there's a few things to talk about. There are a few things to talk about. Now obviously I built the base so that it's completely vanilla. You don't need any mods to actually do the base itself. But in terms of decorations, I decided to add a few little modded things just to show you guys. So there's a mod called JVH Garden Decor, which is over here, actually. This is the bench that you get with the mod. And all you got to do is go into the bench, and then you can craft up a load of fun stuff. You've got a load of plants in here, and you've also got JVH paths. So that's what I crafted up, and I placed down at the front entrance here, which is quite a nice pathway. I really like this one. I use it a lot. The second mod that I use a lot just for the lighting is Klinger's Rustic Build mod. But honestly, that mod is amazing. It's got amazing building structures and pieces in it. But I like to use the sap lighting a lot just because it doesn't require any fuel. It's very easy when I'm doing a build video. But feel free to use like wall torches, etc., or lamps. Or even the Frontier. There's a load of Frontier stuff that you can use. These ones. Frontier lamps. These ones are also pretty cool. And those are from the Bob Tall Tales DLC, those Frontier ones. The next thing we can talk about are the plants. So if you do have the Bob Tall Tales DLC, you'll be able to use plant pots, which I showed during the tutorial. Just go back a little bit and you'll see me talk about that. But if you'd like to use a mod for ease of use, then use the JVH Landscaping Bench, which is this mod here. So another JVH mod, that's JVH. And that is JVH, spelled JVH. I know that a few people, I remember like someone commenting like, what is this GVH mod? Because they thought I said G. No, it's JVH. And again, you can just craft up a load of cool things in here. You can craft up plants, you can craft up trees. You can craft up mushrooms and rocks even. There's a load of fun stuff in there to let your imagination go wild. Now, let's talk about the front of the base. Obviously, the whole point of this base is that to stop people using Bob's boxes. Now, all I've done here, the basics of this build is it's an interesting shape, right? It like has a nice curve up and then a longer curve down. And then I've mixed up two materials. I've done thatch and wood, which is always a good technique on any build. Try not to build with just one material. Try to mix it up a little bit. We've also utilized pillars to kind of frame the build, and it gives it a bit of depth. Obviously, if you didn't use any pillars, it would just be one boring flat wall, which, you know, sometimes you want to go for that, but often you don't. Honestly, you don't. Another way that I've added depth is by indenting the front doorway here a little bit. And we've added additional details with the railings going up and down the roof, as well as the pillar coming over the roof there as well. Now, another thing that I should talk about is the chains here. Now, the chains are just simply a skinny pillar that I placed in that you would have seen me do during the tutorial. And then I skinned on top of that the Castlecraft dungeon skin, which gives us these amazing chains. And you can use all of these on official, other than the mods, like this mod here, the pathway. But you can use anything that I've skinned, you can use on official. It's the same with the chimney on the side here. This is Castlecraft that I've used to skin this. And you can use it on official if you've got it downloaded. Okay, let's pop on inside then, and let's talk about what I've done on the interior. I've added in a few little additional details since the tutorial. So during the tutorial, I did do this completely vanilla. I didn't use any mods, but I have since then added in a rug from Wall and Floor. Now, Wall and Floor, spelled wall, N, floor, has a bench. Here it is. We've got a bench here. And in this bench, you're able to craft up a ton of different furniture, poofs, lights, you name it, tables. It has absolutely everything. My favorite thing being the rugs that they have on there. So I've used a wolf rug for the floor here. And then I've used Castlecraft. Now you can use all of this stuff that I've used other than the rug on official as well. So this is Castlecraft decor. Now you can just use the custom cosmetic Castlecraft decor to place on top of like decor boxes, storage boxes, bookshelves, as I've got over here as well. So those are the two mods I've used to decorate this downstairs area. And what I was going for in here was it just to feel a little bit cozy, and it does feel very cozy in here. It's very, very nice. If we go back here, another rug by the Wall and Floor mod here. Table and chairs from Castlecraft. Just a nice little seating area to, you know, enjoy whatever we cook up on our campfire here. I just did a campfire because obviously starter base. We're not going to have the industrial cooker yet. Then we got our storage boxes in the kitchen with a little tap and a preserving bin to keep everything fresh. And if we go upstairs, now another area that I had originally just done completely vanilla. Now we just added in some Castlecraft beds instead of the normal beds, just skinned over those. And I've just realized that the bookshelf comes through the ceiling, which is it's a look. It's a look. If I realized that did that, then I might have moved the beds a bit closer and got rid of this storage box, and then it would have looked like that was like the bedside table. We've also got our lovely desk back here, so we can sit and research all the things we need to research to survive on the Ark, of course. And okay. Well, I see that there's a design flaw here, but I'm a gamer and I can get out of this. It's absolutely fine. Don't worry. This is a flawless design. This is a flawless day one house design. And look, I just float through. Easy. Nothing to it. Okay, well, maybe you want to move the desk back a little bit. But probably just need to move the chair back a bit so you don't hit your head when you get off it. And then, of course, we have a outside area as well. So we pop out here. And we're met by our lovely greenery, our lovely crop pots, so we can grow our own produce with an amazing view in the background as well. We've got some storage bits out here as well. Got a barrel, some storage boxes, trading dummies so that I can, you know, let out my anger every now and then. And we've got our smithy and smelting, so we can stand out here and craft when we need to. I think it's quite a nice little setup you got here. You got everything you need in one little base. And of course, if you're not able to use wood right away, then just use thatch instead for the entire build, and then change over to the wood bits when you can later. And as I predicted, that was the fastest base tour we've ever done on this channel, I think, because this is the smallest build I've ever... Well, is it the smallest build? I've done one smaller than this, just one. Right. Now, just so everyone knows, this will be available. How many... So this is 312 structures, just so everyone knows. 312. And it is going to be available for my tier 3 members on launch. We'll call it Day 1 Starter Base by Lols at Lance. Lols at Lance's Day 1 Starter Base. Stop building Bob's boxes. Build this instead. And we have ourselves a structure list. So I'm going to definitely edit that into the video later. So just so everyone knows, tier 3 YouTube members do get access as a perk to a lot of my builds that I have tutorials on as templates, Obviously, if they're over the 2000 structure limit on the template, I don't usually template them, but for the most part, a lot of them have been templated now, and they're all on my Discord ready for you tier 3 YouTube members to go and grab. I also do have some free blueprints available on my Discord, so be sure to join even if you're not a tier 3 YouTube member and grab those for yourself too. And well, ladies and jelly spoons, I guess that concludes today's video. So if you did enjoy today's video, don't forget to smash the like button, comment down below what you want to see me build next, and why not subscribe? It's completely free and helps me out a ton. And until next time, survivors, love you guys to death, and I'll see you in the next video.